Well, first I want to say I used all of my good material last night at the rehearsal dinner, so you guys will have to bear with me. I appreciate it. I want to thank everybody for coming, especially all those who traveled. Seen so many of my parents' friends and my friends that have been here come here from afar, and Sarah's family friends as well. We just couldn't be happier that everybody took the effort and the time to come and share in this day with us. Definitely, huge thanks need to go to Paul and Sue Matthews. One of the first times that I met Paul, I was out here at Barrettville, and I got to see the garden. And Paul told me that he knows that the mark of a good gardener is when your friends, they don't ask you how you're doing, they say, "How's your garden?" That's when you know that you have arrived as a gardener. And Paul, I think it's without a doubt safe to say that everybody here, when they see you next, will ask you how your garden is, because this looks absolutely lovely, and we all are very grateful. It's been an undeniable labor of love to put on a wedding like this. The garden is just the half of it. Everything else has looked so lovely. And a labor of love, too, to raise a daughter like Sarah, for which I am very grateful. To have raised a young woman who is so joyful and so thoughtful, and those are just two of the qualities that I'm going to underscore, is a real achievement, and I'm sure a labor of love also. And we're all grateful for that, just like we are for the garden and the beautiful surroundings here tonight, so thank you. So to Sarah, you heard this last night, and I think I probably told you, but some people haven't heard this, and this wasn't part of my toast, but my brother's. My nephew Nicholas, about 10 years ago, was roughly 6 or 7 years old. We were sitting around the Thanksgiving Day dinner table, and he pointed out to me, very sweetly, "Joey, you don't have a job, you don't have a car, you don't have a house, you don't have a wife, you don't have anything." Well, take that, Nicholas. And it only took me 10 years. What was I doing for 10 years? Well, I won't go into all of it, but to tell you about some of the language I want to use to describe it, 2 of those years were actually spent in the seminary, and one of the things that we talked about while I was a seminarian was this idea of, your posture with respect to sort of your experience of life. So, we have a posture of, you might have a posture of wonder, a posture of anger, a posture of confusion. All these different sort of ways that you can encounter the world, and really all these different sort of attitudes or postures that you can bring to prayer. And as I think of those 10 years, I want to use that language. I would say mine was really a posture of becoming, which really isn't a posture at all. It's not comfortable to spend that amount of time doing this, doing that. And if I can break away for 1 second, Sarah, and just to thank 2 people who are here who were not at the rehearsal dinner last night. So many people have helped me with that, navigating that posture of becoming that I thank, and that are in the wedding party and everything else. But 2 people in particular who deserve special mention are Dr. Scout Grabenstein, who really was a tremendously important classmate of mine in medical school, and without her I definitely certainly wouldn't have done as well in medical school, and probably wouldn't have emotionally done as well in medical school as well. So Scout, thank you very much. And the other is Mark Schaff, who is my oldest friend who is here. And Mark, you probably don't remember a difficult time for me in Berkeley when, among other things, I was trying to figure out if I wanted to continue graduate school or not. This is in the 10 years when Nicholas was asking me what I was doing with my life. But Mark, you dropped everything one night, and the next day we were in Tahoe, and we were gambling, and we were playing golf, and it meant the world to me. And it's a little thing. Thank you. It's the little things over the course of a lifetime that make a great friend. So thank you very much for that. And so many other people obviously have been wonderful about that. But I finally made it to medical school. And I thought, well, I'm going to be a dermatologist. That'll be great. And I met Sarah, and everything changed. that posture actually changed. It wasn't a posture of becoming anymore. And to characterize that, I just want to tell a quick story. I was running. Sometimes I'm a runner. And I remember the day, it was about a year ago, and Sarah and I had just started dating. It was 2011, Dad. And we had just started dating. And we had a double date planned with Bill, who's one of my groomsmen, and his wife, Lisa. And so I had gone for a run around my parents' house, and I had finished the run, and I was walking up to my parents' house to sort of get my things together, go back home, get ready for the date. And it just hit me. There I was, you know, in the shadow of the house of my parents who loved me, 2 or 3 miles away from the houses of my brother and his family and my sister and her family, and I had this wonderful evening planned where I was going to go out with Sarah, and she was going to meet for the first time my friend Bill and his wife Lisa, and I was just filled with gratitude, and that posture changed from a posture of becoming to a posture of gratitude, and it was amazing. There's a quotation that I like by a Polish poet named Czesław Miłosz, and he says, I've got it written down, but I don't want to go pull it out of my pocket. Let me think. I've got it. Look at it. Bear with me. He says, early we receive a call, yet it remains incomprehensible, and only late do we realize how obedient we were. So all those false starts, all those things that I did for all those 10 years, they all led me to you, Sarah, and I know that with you by my side and with our families, mine will remain a posture of gratitude for the rest of our lives together. So Sarah, thank you very much.